What's good with my people out there, man? It's Sharon, Pac Guardolo, checking back in with another episode of the Round the Clock Thinker Show. And I'm sipping water today, man. I'm off the H20. Wanted to get on here real quick and kick another show with y'all, bro. This time, man, we're gonna be talking about something very important. You know, everything in reality, everything breaks down to value. You feel me? And what determines how you move, how I move, how anybody move, what determines that it's the value that we place on specific things. You feel me? The value that we place on specific things. And we're going to talk about it, man. The theory, the psychological theory of value. You feel me? Make sure y'all check out the links in the description, man. They're there for you. You can browse the drip. You know, I got on the pack today. You could go and get the Treeway winter wear off of there. Just look at the Teespring link, man. Also, the audio book is officially out. The hard copy, the physical copy, I still gotta put it through certain processes, so I'll let y'all know when I'm done with that. But the audio book is out. The Pretty Much Understanding My booklet, man. A straightforward, practical, written piece of information that you could just grab and get you on the right track wherever you at in your life, man. If you feeling lost, if you're not feeling lost, man, go check out the Pretty Much Understanding, man. Look, it'll remind you of things that you weren't thinking about, even if you're already on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to exercise greatness. The psychological theory of value. Let's talk about it, man. And when you think about value, you may think about a diamond. You may think about cars, a house, right? But it goes deeper than that. Because think about this. If I value something, I put a level of importance on whatever I value. And based off what I value, right, it's going to suggest a demonstration of my character. You see what I'm saying? A demonstration of my character, of who I am. So if I value a car and I value a house and I value money, then that means that you could say that I'm a materialistic person, right? Because that's what I place value on. That's what I place importance on. So if someone walked up to me and said, hey, I got this bag of apples over here. If I don't value the bag of apples, I'm not gonna really care about the bag of apples. I don't place importance on the bag of apples. Now keep in mind that a bag of money and a bag of apples both benefit you in a certain way, right? And you could also misuse both of them. You feel me? See, I didn't even know I was gonna cut that corner. Now watch this. So the value of money If I place value on money based on my character, it's going to determine how I use the money. Whether I use the money in a good way, as in I invest, you feel me? Or either I blow it in the strip club. I spend it wisely, or I blow it on bullshit. That's gonna determine, my character is gonna determine how I use the money. And I place value on it either way, whether I use the money in a good way or I use it in a bad way. I still place money on the, I place value on the money. I value the money. Right? And the things that it can bring me, that I can get from the money. Now let's go over to the bag of apples. Bag of apples. You could basically appreciate a bag of apples just like you appreciate a bag of money. The money is way more powerful than a bag of apples, though, when misused or when used properly. But what's the difference between the bag of apples and the money? Because you may be wondering, how the hell can I misuse a bag of apples? Well, you can wait until they get bad and then eat them and get sick. Or, this is go out on a limb. You can take a bag of apples and go outside and hit a random motherfucker upside the head with the bag of apples and get the police called on you. Right? So, the value difference between a bag of apples and a bag of money outweigh each other significantly. Because it depends on how much money you got, of course. You could do a lot of good shit or a lot of bad shit with that money. Even with the money, you need that to buy the bag of apples. Follow me. But you can't get the money necessarily with a bag of apples. I mean, you can if you sold them, right? In a sense, if you sold a bag of apples and someone was willing to buy the bag of apples, then you would get money for the bag of apples. But who is going to want to buy a bag of apples? Only the people who place value on the bag of apples. Follow me here. I'm talking that shit. Now, watch this. Just like the bag of apples and the money, everybody have value placement on specific things. So either you could be valuing gossip, or you could be the type of person that value information, constructive, positive, helpful information that'll help you reach the next level financially, so that you can do something strategic with the money that you gain from the knowledge, right? Now, keep in mind, people that gossip and people that like information, positive information, constructive information, they both have money. You know what I'm saying? But what outweighs the other in value, right? In my opinion, it's the one that value the positive, constructive information, because it'll get them further. The one that value gossip is gonna loop. They're gonna stay stuck in the same place, same space. They're gonna be surrounded by the same people, most likely, because people rarely change. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna continue to place the importance and the value on gossip. Even though, keep in mind, look, someone that gossips, they know how to make you think that they place value on constructive thinking. But the importance is where everything reveals itself, because importance through action is going to reveal to you that the person who gossips, who's trying to make you think that they value constructive thinking, eventually they're going to show themselves. They're going to show themselves. Over time, things will unfold. They will crack. They just want to kick it with you because that's what you value. And they want to make it seem like that's what they value. But eventually, you'll be like, damn, why you keep talking about this all the time? Let's focus on the solution. I value solutions. You value problems. We're not the same. I value growth and fresh information, constructive thinking. You value putting another person down and comparing yourself to them. We're not the same. You see what I'm saying? Let's go into another example. I wrote down a few examples right here. You know what I'm saying? Hood activities. Do you value hood activities? Where you're in the club, or you feel me, and you're throwing the money and the bitches are around, and do you value that? Where it's like that environment, that type of energy? Or do you value a dinner meeting, a lunch meeting that's gonna level you up? Whether it's just, even if it's just conversation. Even if it's just having a constructive conversation about how another business owner got to where they are currently in their life, and how you're trying to reach certain specific goals. Is that more important to you? Do you place more value on a dinner meeting, or more value on going to the bar, going to the club, feel me, hanging out in the hood, popping your shit, you know what I'm saying? Gang. What do you value? And this is the thing, I'm not telling you what to value, but I am telling you to know yourself and be truthful with that. So that way, when the results come, you know why. And I'm also hoping that you would stop. If you're a gossiper, I'm hoping that you would stop trying to portray like you really about this game when you not. Like you really about this information, you really about growth, you really about getting ahead in life. Like you really about it when you not, because you faking the funk. You could just simply say, man, I don't want to talk about that shit. I respect the person even more than say, man, look, you read books, bro. I'm not into that. I don't give a fuck about no book. I don't care about a book. Right? Nothing in books. Everything you need to learn is in the streets. I'm here to tell you, you can learn a lot in the streets. But you can also learn a lot in books. And I value the books. I've been in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And it, of course, it's best to have somebody who's an intelligent street person. They got book sense and street sense. But what they place value on, I promise you, is gonna be the book sense. The information in the book, because like they say, they hide a lot of information that you need to know in the books. And if you shout out to the pimps and the real Max and these OG niggas, they got real solid game. I promise you they read. If an OG nigga drops some game on you that you never heard before, he learned it through experience and or reading. He read it, then probably applied it, and it worked. It made sense. You know what I'm saying? So let's cross-examine. This is some of the realest shit that I ever thought of the other day. I was like, wow. I was sitting back. I said, man, you know what? Everybody don't value wisdom. Wisdom isn't for everybody. Like Steve the Dean says, game ain't for everybody. Wisdom isn't for everybody. You can have a conversation with someone who's wise and go deeper than the ocean. But you cannot begin to have a conversation like that with someone who's not wise, with someone who does not value wisdom, because they're going to stay surface level and they don't understand nothing other than that. And they're more focused on being pessimistic than optimistic. They're more focused on going backwards instead of forward, or staying stuck instead of moving forward. Instead of tapping into betterment, tapping into constructive conversation. That's why I like to listen to people who are intelligent. Intelligent people. People who have went through things and they value information. I love to talk to people like that and listen to people like that. I advise you do the same, man. They're all on YouTube. Find somebody who's very intelligent and they know how to think. Round the clock thinker. You see what I'm saying? And then you make the connection yourself. You feel me? I'm going to do this last cross-reference, this cross-examination. Right? And I briefly mentioned it earlier. Do you value gambling or do you value investing? What do you value? Right? When we break this down, it comes back to the level of importance that you place on whatever it is. And the importance is going to be demonstrated and shown through action. Not really what you talk about, but through action, you're going to show what you really value. You know what I'm saying? If I got a question and I know somebody who got the answer and I value having the answer, I'm going to call them and ask the question. Or I'm going to approach them and ask the question. But if I don't value the answer to my question and I value being in a loop, I value staying stuck in my same thinking and not growing my mind, not changing my thoughts, not changing the way I see myself. I value being stuck. Then guess what? I don't really want to know. Yeah, I know, old buddy. Yeah, I know, big homie. He said tap in with him whenever I got any questions. But if I don't value growth, I don't have any questions to ask him. Some generic shit. What kind of bud you smoking? You know what I'm saying? You know, they just came out with a new vodka. Shit like that. Nothing constructive. Feel me? So at the end of the day, man, the psychological theory of value breaks down to your thinking and what you place importance on. And you, if you want to change, you have to realize that and become aware of that about yourself, what you place value on. Just like I said, I ain't judging what you place value on. I'm just giving you perspective and the truth. And there's only a few who's going to be able to face that and be able to say, you know what, damn, I do value gambling more than investing. Damn, how can I change it? You know? Well, you look for the information. That's when that person comes in that told you to ask them anything you want to ask them. And if you don't have that person, then you'll find them. Or they'll find you. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The teacher to show up. You know what I'm saying? So once you become hungry and you start, man, the internet is a vast place, especially YouTube. You type in questions on Google or YouTube or ChatGPT, I promise you, you'll find your answers. But it all breaks down to what you value. Your search history is going to tell me and tell you what you value, what you place value on, what you enjoy the most. The psychological theory of value, man. It's around Pat Bordolo. Checking out, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. Please subscribe, yo. We're at 99 subscribers, man. We got one more subscriber before we hit 100 subscribers, and that's a big milestone for me because, you know, I started podding. I started doing the podcast, and then I cut off, and I stopped, and then when I started back, I said, bro, I'm locking in, and I'm gonna stay doing this shit. I'm gonna keep doing it. You feel me? We gotta set small goals. 100 is the first goal, but the mega goal, the big goal, man, is, you know, 100,000, man. 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. You feel me? We gonna get there. But I appreciate all 99 of you that's already here. You feel me? You here at the beginning, and I'm only gonna get better. You know, we're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep creating new content. We're gonna keep, you know, switching things up. Like this background right here, I'm gonna be changing it up often. And yeah, man, so just stay tuned. I appreciate everybody tapping in with me. If you hear and you understand what I'm talking about, hit the subscribe, man. It's around Pat Bordolo. Checking out. Peace.